Hey there everybody, it's Paul here again from Ballistic Blood Bullets, and really pleased to be back with a release, a Steelbook edition no less, from Eureka, Masters of Cinema edition, and this is for the Alex Cox directed classic from the early 80s, Repo Man, and of course stars Emilio Estevez. And this one is another from the classic Masters of Cinema. That is just such a very cool release. Fantastic to see it on Steelbook edition, and just immediately looking at the front cover, its simplicity is there to be seen but also to be admired. Very clean cuts, very crisp. I don't know if you can make out, you should be able to make out there, not only have we got the image of Emilio Estevez, but very faintly beside him is an image of a skeleton. And that just deftly stands out behind him, and it is pertinent to the film itself and the mystery and bizarreness that surrounds the film, which we'll come to momentarily. But just picking up on the Steelbook edition itself, and again looking at the spine of this one, very clear again, Eureka and Repo Man, and it's a nice red-orange glow, again I believe synonymous with the mysterious goings-on within the content of the film itself. There we have quite clearly emblazoned the Masters of Cinema series, and this is release number 27, and very stylish Steelbook indeed, very crisp and clear, as I say. And the back itself as well, it is free, as is the front, from any logos stuck on, like the certification stickers that always plague too many of these releases, but not here, not from Masters of Cinema. And Eureka have done another wonderful job. And last year, back in 2011, one of my favourite Steelbook releases came from Masters of Cinema, and that was the fabulous silent running, absolutely wonderful edition. And this again with Repo Man is a very nice release from Eureka, so congratulations to them, and thank you very much indeed for giving us such a quality release. Another one to look out for in the next couple of months is the 1932 classic black and white horror Island of Lost Souls, which again is being released by Eureka on their Masters of Cinema label, to not only just Blu-ray but a fabulous looking Steelbook edition as well. And of course Island of Lost Souls has already been released on the Criterion label and in Blu-ray edition as well as standard DVD, but it is certainly, from my point of view, I would have thought from a lot of other people's point of view as well, that Eureka Masters of Cinema label is definitely up there, challenging with Criterion and giving us some wonderful releases. So long may that continue. But we are looking here at Repo Man, and as always with these Steelbooks, it can pose a little bit of difficulty trying to open these up, so I'm just going to put this down for a second and have a look inside at Repo Man. And what we get is a single disc release, and again the simplicity of the art on the disc is clear to see, but very much in keeping with it. And again, I think you can just about make out that creepy looking skeletal figure that is adorning the front of the Blu-ray disc here. But again, big bonus, really do like this, and that is the fact that we do have some interior backing artwork, and we have an image of a police officer obviously coming up against something fairly mysterious and giving him a bit of a fright there. Again, all in keeping with the strange goings-on of Repo Man. But I must say that it's really so very nice to have interior artwork. It really is a simple thing, but such a big thing of importance for me, and I know a lot of you guys out there as well. It just sets it off so well. This one comes as well with a very nice and fairly thick booklet to accompany the release, and it's done again in a very cool fashion, very much in style with Alex Cox, who is quite a quirky director, very good guy, knows his stuff, very knowledgeable guy. And a bit of the story behind this is that the movie actually started out in his thought process as being a comic book, but he decided early in his career that although he liked the concept and the design and storytelling and the panels of comic book style, it was going to be something that was going to be more tricky for him to do on a regular basis, and decided that making movies was a far more rewarding and simplified form of getting page to screen. And so rather than Repo Man continuing in the form of a comic, it took to the big screen, and of course it was one of his earliest forays into movie making, and indeed is the first big screen movie that he produced and delivered. But this itself is very cool and funky to have, and to have done the booklet entirely in the style of a comic book, as I say, is very much in keeping with Alex Cox and his quirky style. So that is something that is very nice to have as an addition to the cool Steelbook itself. And director Alex Cox, as I would have thought is known to all of you, he's an English guy, and he was born in Liverpool, England in 1954, and Repo Man, as I say, is his first full feature film, and as it was intended, was to be started out in comic book form, but he stuck with the mantle of movie making and delivered up a very iconic film from 1984, full of some really good, cool, quirky characters. Now, Alex Cox himself, I always liked Alex Cox, not just as a movie maker. He's an actor as well, but also just as a guy, as a sort of regular person. And he's clearly a huge film fan. He's extremely knowledgeable. And I recall about 10-15 years ago on late night TV, he he was involved with a late night series of new and daring movies to TV at that time, and he did a very cool intro and overview on late night TV for the spaghetti western Django Kill, and it was clear and evident that he had a real love and passion for the genre, and it would be really cool to have him deliver his own take and style on the spaghetti western genre theme, and it'd be really quite cool to have him make a spaghetti western style movie going back to that old style from the late 60s. So maybe that's something that Alex Cox at some stage will actually get around to doing. It would be very welcome, that's for sure. Very much a Hollywood person to avoid the style of Hollywood, shall I say. He's sort of sets his own sort of mantle and delivers a real telling piece of filmmaking that steps outside of the traditions of the Hollywood stable, and all credit to him for that. Now, the movie itself, Repo Man, as we will all know, as I mentioned, has some great character acting, and the star or the stars of the film Harry Dean Stanton, and Harry Dean Stanton to me, he always comes to my sort of thought process as being Brain from Escape from New York, but Harry Dean Stanton was very much a great character actor, and he actually appeared, or has appeared to date, in over 180 movies, so he's no stranger to the character acting roles, and very much a man of his time, and also still very much a very sought after background actor in movies today, even though he is getting on in years. Emilio Estevez, 22-year-old brat pack at this stage of his career when he appeared in Repo Man. It's one of his earliest roles, and he plays Otto. He's a punk rocker who quits his low-paid job at the supermarket and gets recruited into the car repossession business, and then gets drawn into the paranoid world of those that work within it. But he's befriended by fellow Repo Man and UFO conspiracy oddball Bud, who of course is played by Harry Dean Stanton. But Otto's world turns upside down and flip side reverse bizarre as he tracks down a rare 1964 Chevy Malibu for a very large reward. But of course every other rival Repo Man is also on its tailgate. And on top of that, something very strange and so incredible resides in the trunk of this car. And on top of that, it glows in the dark. And the Repo Men chase it down, but behind its wheel is a government scientist eager to keep the top secret cargo for himself. It's a wild and strange ride, but Emilio Estevez is a cocked and readied young gun shooting for success as Repo Man. Big fun, great retro movie from 1984, and a classic release by Eureka in their Masters of Cinema Blu-ray format, here in a glorious Steelbook edition. Big fun. Please do let me have your thoughts on this one, not only for the film itself, your recollections, good or bad, of Repo Man from 1984, your thoughts on stars, Harry Dean Stanton and Emilio Estevez, but also what your thoughts are on Eureka and Masters of Cinema releases and their steelbooks. I'd be interested to chat about that, because I am becoming a huge fan and look out for anything that they're releasing, and very pleased to collect these steelbook editions particularly. But let's enjoy Repo Man and have fun chatting about this one. Look forward to your thoughts. Thank you very much indeed for watching. As always, very pleased to have you on board, and thank you for your viewing and also your comments, and look forward to chatting about this one. Thanks very much indeed, guys. Take care. See you all soon. Bye for now.